Tuesday, May 19th, take 3. So I started this video trying to explain to you your activity for the week, and one of the links isn't working. Gotta love Edsby. So I'm going to figure that out, but I still want to sort of explain to you what we're working on for this week. So, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you had a great long weekend. This is going to be the last assignment for industry units. This is sort of our final project, sort of a summarization of everything that we've looked at so far. And you're going to have a lot of choice with this particular project. So what you'll see today, I'm just going to show you my Edsby computer. So what you'll do when you go to Edsby today is you're going to see an explanation of what the project is. So you're going to start a final project. It's going to be a task to create a public art display that's going to raise awareness about some impact of the materials economy. So we identified in each of the different stages some of the things that were troubling about that particular stage. And so you can focus in on one of the stages. You could focus in on the extraction of raw materials and some of the impacts that that has. You could focus in on the distribution of the materials and the impacts that that has on either the environment or on people. Whatever you're compelled to talk about or to want to raise awareness about, it's entirely up to you. So there are 3 parts to this particular assignment. So we're going to start off by doing a quick brainstorming session, and it's the Creative Activism brainstorming page. Now, this is the link that's not working right now, so I'm going to have to figure out how to get that to you. But when you do open it up, I probably send it to you through, get rid of that. I'll send it to you through Likely or Pemina Trail's email. I'll send you a link. But what you'll see is this page, Creative Activism Student Brainstorming page. So you're going to use this document to brainstorm messages about the materials economy that are powerful, insightful, and perceptive. So the messages should communicate something about the materials economy that is thought-provoking, which basically means that gets people thinking about that particular issue. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, even though as you start this project, you might say, oh, I definitely want to focus in on consumption and the impacts that that has on people's happiness, I still want you to sort of be thinking about what are some messages you might have about the other stages. So at least 2 to 3 messages. So you're going to add your message to the chart, and then you're just going to initial over on the side here. So that I can tell what work is yours. So for example, I've given you a few messages here. So with the extraction stage, so a message that you might have is that the extraction of natural resources is very intensive and often causes environmental problems such as the destruction of fertile land, water shortages, or toxic pollution. So if that's the message that I'm trying to convey, what sort of art display could I put together to convey that message about the extraction of natural resources? So this message is going to be the basis for your art project. Here's another example for production. Poor working conditions and low wages are a result of the production of clothing for the fast fashion industry. So again, if that's a message that I want my audience to know about, how am I going to select items to put together in a way that's going to convey that information? Okay, so that's kind of the first step, is brainstorming. So the goal here is to get a lot of ideas down so that if you're someone who's like, I just don't know what message I want to convey, that you can come to this list and you can sort of take a look around and see if there's something that works for you. So once we've done this brainstorming part, the other thing I'm going to ask you to do is go to the student booklet. So in the student booklet, this gives you some examples of activities that have been done in the past. So this focus was basically on the disposal part of the materials economy, whereas we're looking at the entire economy, and you can choose one of those stages within that particular, within the materials economy. This one was really just about disposal. So see here, this was a whale that was made out of all garbage bags, and then just, a ton of plastic being used to show the impacts of the plastic industry on marine life. Then we have this one over here where we would normally see a globe. Again, it's just all this plastic trash showing us, again, the message is just about how plastics and waste is taking over our planet. So you'll see that there are some great examples here. of some art projects that were put together last year. So some guidelines for you that you can take a look at so that you know what you need to be working on. Now here is the proposal. So here's sort of where you're going to start doing some of your process work. So thinking about it. So brainstorming, right? So what aspect of the materials economy do you think needs to be reconsidered? How are you going to illustrate this idea? So this is where you're just going to sort of talk about what's your message? What are you sort of thinking in terms of what is important to communicate a message about? You're going to talk here about the materials that you're going to use. Again, this can change as you're going through the process, but generally speaking, what's kind of your idea and what do you think that you're going to create? Will it be a model? Will it be a picture that you create using these salvaged pieces? Give your art piece a creative title. This might be something that you sort of fill in after you've created your art piece. You may, find that it doesn't come to you until later, and that's okay. And then finally, what is your message? And then you'll see down here that you've got your rubric. So this is what we're going to be focusing on. Creativity. So does the art piece communicate an idea or a problem with the materials economy that's original and imaginative? So again, I don't necessarily want to have, 20 plastic turtles, save the turtles. So think of an idea that's maybe creative. Aesthetic appeal, so how does it look? How have you arranged your items to convey a message? What is the central idea? Is it clear? Is it relevant to what we've been talking about? Is it logical? And then there's a presentation to this. So what I'm going to ask you to do is submit your student booklet, so this booklet here, but then also take a quick video of yourself, and again, you can do this just using your phone, and just present your final art piece. So give me an explanation about the concept, the materials that you used, and most importantly, the message that you're trying to communicate. So that's going to be sort of all together with that final assignment. So you'll see here that you've got your instructions on each of the steps that you need to take. These are the links that you have down here. So here's your student booklet. When you've completed everything, there is a student self-evaluation, which I'll take you through in just a second. And here's the bookmark that doesn't work that I'm going to try and fix. So here is the self-evaluation. Let's see if this is going to download. There it is. So again, this looks very similar to the rubric. It's just instead of having the numbers here, it's really just more so a descriptor. So the materials used to communicate the main idea are original, creative, and imaginative. You're going to just basically highlight and tell me it was somewhat successful, it was successful, or it was highly successful, and then just a really brief explanation about why you think it was successful. Again, how you arranged your materials. Did you do that with thought and effort and attention to detail? Somewhat successful, successful, highly successful, and again, an idea here. At the end of it, overall, you're going to take a look at, how did this all shake out, and do you think your overall project was somewhat successful, successful, or highly successful? And I'm sure you're all going to be highly successful. And I'm looking forward to seeing them. So I'm going to work on getting this to you because this is really the first thing that we want to be working on. And I'm going to do that once I finish this video. And actually, I linked it down here, so let's see if this works. Oh, it does work. Fantastic. Okay, that's great. So I fixed it. So below, instead of embedding it in this document here, I'll probably just remove this. What I've done is I have just put it down here. So you'll see it says Creative Activism Brainstorming Page, and then you're just going to click on this link down here. So that's the first thing that you're going to do. And I think that's kind of it. You may have some questions as you sort of go through this, so please make sure you let me know. If you want to do sort of a live chat, again, please let me know. Just, book a time and we'll do a live chat and I can talk you through some of this stuff. But hopefully, this was a really long video. I'm sorry, but there was just sort of a lot to go through with this. But like I said, any questions you have, please let me know. And I think that's kind of it. So good luck. I'm really looking forward to these projects. Be as creative as you can. I know some of you are really passionate about some of the topics that we've covered so far. So I love to see that passion through the projects that you create. And have a really great week. Enjoy the weather.